we're like lab rats. We're being experimented on. They put us in a little box. They try to enclose us in on each corner. And then they look down at us and they poke at us. They poke and prod, poke and pick. They try to inject us with some vaccines and whatnot. And they really want to know how are these little rats still running around laughing and joking and giggling, and we shot them up with freaking vaccines their entire life. And go ahead, you can cut over if you want. I mean, you can pretend that you're lane drifting. It's like, that dude, he got the white flag. He's like, I give up, I'm done. How much do we have to torture these people to get them to stop enjoying their freaking life? We just got to remember that the high leaders that are in charge of this since the beginning of creation, because that's when gang stalking started, at the very beginning. Satan is the creator of it. He's the one that doesn't he doesn't want you to believe in God. He wants you to believe in him. He wants you to believe that he is God. And I give it to him. He definitely has he got a lot of people fooled. Hey, you look like you have the same truck that I do. I'm just wondering if you're sensitizing me or not. You have a red truck. What it is this. Everything is, not everything's gay. It just is. Everything's gay. The tactics are, you know, they're queer. They're unusual. They're odd. They're peculiar. They're queer. Like Richard. So when you see the airplanes flying in the skies too, they're almost see-through. You can literally basically see through them with your eyeballs. Like, you're right. All right. Because yesterday they were chemtrailed all day long. You seen images of chemtrails all day long yesterday. And if you notice, if you look at, it's the same height, but they're really small. It's like a tiny little airplane with little small chemtrails. It's supposed to look like it's so far up into the heavens, but it's literally like 4 miles, 2 miles, 2 miles. I don't know, 2 miles. The sun. I mean, the sun looks like it's like 5 miles in the sky. I don't know. Maybe it's 50 tops. I mean, some of these airplanes are flying like directly. It almost looks like they're flying behind the sun, which kind of is supposed to be impossible. But they're doing a lot of tests on us. They're testing us constantly because they truly want to know, why in the hell do these people still proclaim that they know God, right? And here we are, miserable as hell, with all the money in the world, and we just can't get no satisfaction. None of them are satisfied. because they're so freaking greedy and sickening, and they just want more and more and more. It's like, you want some of this water? No, it's all mine. I wasn't even thirsty, but you can't have it. That's how freaking greedy and disgusting they are. So they truly want to know, how is it that our brain comprehends what's going on? How do we know what their plan is? Everything's just a coincidence. How is it that... Did I skip where I needed to go? I probably did. How is it that, how is it that the people that are being targeted, the ones that catch on like this, like, I caught on, I'm going to say for 6 months, I guess for about 6 months now, I started to realize what this system is. And yeah, in the beginning I was sick. I was so sick and disgusted. Like, what in the hell is going on? These people are following me around every freaking single day. It's like, oh my god, it's so gay, so gay. And then as they continue to poke and prod at me and test me, well, even they can see that, oh crap, he's coming around and this isn't bothering him anymore at all. And actually, he's making fun of us. And well, what are we gonna do? We need to send more people at him or do something. 11:14, 11:144. It's 1114. I'm just saying, that's what time it is. It's 11:14 a.m. What is it that these people, how do they function when they're being harassed by us blind, spiritually completely freaking blinded human beings? They're literally like, it's like immature kids. You know the immature kids that, well, they just they don't know any better because they're still young and blind. That's how they are. That's kind of what they remind me of. They're just big kids that haven't grown up. They never will grow up because there's no spiritual truth inside of them whatsoever. They're just completely separated from the reality of our Creator. And they truly do, they truly are so interested in us because, well, if they weren't, they wouldn't be following us. And who follows people besides followers? You know, I mean, most people's parents, they would tell them, you don't want to be a follower, you want to be a leader. You want to lead. Make your own occult, okay? Make your own occult and be a leader. Lead the way. That's what occults are, aren't they? They're people that are leaders. Of course, the word is misused because they do look at us as occultist leaders. Why? Because we're singing a new song, we're whistling a new tune. Because we have the information that God is supposed to give us in these last moments of creation here, that we know it. This world, Satan's world that's coming to an end. No! Not the world! Shut up, Robin! I don't want to hear it. The world's ending. You're tormenting us. Well, look, Elite. Your world is going to come crashing down. Now, I know you're going to make our world come crashing down first, which is fine. You're supposed to. And as you're doing that, well, I'm just going to be laughing at it. There's nothing that you're going to do that's going to make me change my tune, okay? Because pestilence and destruction, you know, Job told us to laugh at it. He said you're going to laugh at it. Why else would you laugh at it? If it was real, why would you laugh at real destruction? And people starving to death. It's not funny. But what is funny is how they'll try to play that out on our television set and whatnot, and tell us that tell us that the world is it's crashing and crumbling. It's drunking. It's swaying back and forth like a drunkard. And the foundations of the earth do shake. And we will see a great earthquake that we will all know exactly. Man, is that sensitizing? Blue, red, and white. And they all look like my truck. Nah, I just happened to drive here. They weren't. Just saying. So the great earthquake's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be so great. Even the people that don't watch the news, because if everybody has a phone, it's going to be the emergency broadcast system. This is not a freaking test. Even though that's exactly what it is, it's an absolute test. But it's not a test of the emergency broadcast FEMA group corporation. This is not a test. Flee from the fear of the noise. I mean, that's what they're telling you. They're not going to specifically say flee from the fear of the noise, but they're going to say something along those lines that means the same exact thing. You know, like, hurry, come to your nearest Walmart, because we have protection there. And we didn't want to tell you before, but we have bunkers underground. It'll protect you guys. Trust us. Just please hurry up. It's the same thing. Flee. Now remember, those who flee from the fear and noise, they're going to fall into the trip. You're going to be tripping. They're going to fall into the trap. And the trap is the fact that you're going to be underground in their bunkers. But don't worry. Don't worry. What's going to happen is God's going to rip you out of their arms. And, you know, it's going to be your fault for fleeing from the fear of the noise. And you just have to go into the kingdom of heaven backwards, like backing into it. Because in Isaiah, it's somewhere in the Bible. I remember reading it. Don't quote me on it. But it does say that you will be ripped away from their arms. When you flee, basically. When you get caught, or you get trapped, you fall into that snare. You are going to be ripped out of their arms. Either way. And you know, I don't know if they're gonna show these two witnesses, because I think that's one of those things that they know who the two witnesses are. They know that it's us, period. It's us and the Holy Spirit, period. That's it. They know that, but most of the world doesn't. So what they're going to do is they'll just prolong that, just like the peace treaty. There will be no peace treaty signing because they want to prolong it, because everybody not everybody, but mostly everybody, even you know, the people that believe in the Bible, they're waiting for this peace treaty to be signed, and then they think we're gonna have 7 years from that point on. It's all about prolonging the days, and but then they're gonna try to shorten the days. But see, God prolonged certain days also, the tribulation period, and He's going to shorten other days also. So, well, I'm going to miss once this gets shut down. I'm going to, you know, for those 7 days, I'm going to miss being able to tell people what's going on. I am, but I'm gonna know that we're right there. So that's the part that won't bother me, is knowing. So I can't wait for this destruction to happen on the television set. It's going to be freaking so funny. We're seeing more, we're hearing more sounds from the skies. We're seeing more images from the skies. We're seeing some UFOs now. I mean, it's awesome what they're showing it up there. Just little objects just floating away. The chemtrails are getting smaller and tinier. The airplanes are very high, even though they're exactly the same height as the really big floating ones that are like... And then you hear like... when you see absolutely nothing. But then you'll see these big, gigantic airplanes with nothing but silence. So yeah, I'm going to miss you guys, even though I don't know who yous are, but I'm going to miss being able to just push record, send this information out there, have hundreds of people watch it, and hopefully it helps people understand what's going on here if you don't, and hopefully I understand what I'm talking about, because if not, well I guess I won't make any sense, and it won't be helpful to anybody. So maybe I don't know anything, and I'm just rambling on about nothing. I don't think so, though. I think I know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty close to understanding the entire script of the Elite's plan that's going to backfire. Okay, Plankton?